morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's SonRise Project call. As always, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here with all of you in this safe space filled with love and compassion and our mutual desire to heal ourselves and our children and our families. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Oh, I'm so excited this morning to have back a very dear friend, Coach Bev Kearney, we affectionately call her. Coach Bev is one of those rare visionary stars who believes that greatness exists within everyone. Her passion and gift for coaching, consulting, and mentoring has inspired individuals and groups all over the world and in various professions to achieve their greatest successes. Coach Bev is recognized as one of the most successful coaches in NCAA history. She's been inducted to various halls of fame as a sports legend, including the prestigious International Women's Sports Hall of Fame. Her record of 7 national championships is one of the highest among Black and female countries in the country. And she was honored with the BET Legacy Award for Education alongside the likes of Dr. Maya Angelou, Stevie Wonder, and the Tuskegee Airmen. She was also honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from Auburn University, marking only the second time in history that a woman has received that award and the first Black person in history to receive the award. She has coached countless men and women over her 30 plus year career, and some of these athletes stand out as some of America's best, with over 15 Olympians and several world, collegiate, and American record holders. Her many accolades do little justice to her ability to strategically and purposefully motivate, empower, and coach others to turn their goals into gold. Coach Bev's In Pursuit consulting services provide individuals and corporate team members with strategies to thrive in high performance environments. So I am so honored and delighted to have Coach Bev back with us here this morning on this very special day as we lean into getting ready for Thanksgiving, whatever that looks like for all of us this week. Coach Bev, welcome. I'm so happy you are here this morning, especially given it's only 7 a.m. out there where you are.
I am excited to be here as usual, especially on a topic I love so much and feel so deeply.
Yeah.
Um,
And let's talk about that. I want to start by talking about your year. It's been literally 1 year since you were here with us. You were here 1 year ago today, and we were talking about how to get through the pressures of holiday season and how to do that. And you shared some beautiful gems with us. And before we go into that, grace and gratitude and all, and our topic for today, can you share with us, what's been going on with you? I know it's been a really tough year.
I want to preface it by saying I consider myself a winner. I consider myself a winner at every single thing I do. I don't
Mm,
mind not not winning. I hate losing.
mm,
And when I lose, it means I've done something to impede my success. Winning isn't about first place, it's about stepping into any room and being and giving your best self in that moment, in that room. And so many times when we are in spaces, we don't step in that space as our best selves. We
mm,
have been through so many challenges. Some are very serious, some are very light, and then some are just an accumulation of
mm.
stressors. Let me
Yeah.
give you an example of this and how to have that mindset and what that mindset, because if you don't know the mindset, the story doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm driving down the road and I'm fairly healthy. Never
Mm-hmm.
had, except for the car accidents, which I wasn't even driving. I've never really been in a hospital or had an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm driving to go to a meeting and I feel heart pressure. pressure all across my chest. And I'm driving and I'm by myself and I'm thinking, I've never had chest pain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. This is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm overreacting. And
Mm-hmm.
so I call my daughter and she goes, Mom, hold on. Did what she did and says, there is an emergency room because, of course, they tracked me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not even talk about that because I can't even go to the store and they'll call and go, Mom, can you get this at the store? I'm not at the store. Yes, you are. Oh, shoot. Because I've never tracked anybody. But this is the blessing of being tracked. And so I see where you are. About a mile away, there's an emergency center. I
Mm-hmm.
go there. You can say it just so happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I say that's what you attract when you have that mindset. One of the best ERs in Chandler I went to.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up walking myself in, telling them what my symptoms are. 4 hours to five, I was there 5 hours. I go out after all of these tests and I find that I have a low oxygen intake and I have the hernia where your esophagus has now moved into your esophagus has moved into your no, my stomach moved into my esophagus. And so
Mm.
it created a blockage. And because of all the tests and dyes, I decided, okay, I'm gonna grab this is where the winter is backfiring. My
Mm.
mindset is I'm gonna grab something to eat and drive the 30 minutes home.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I got to the parking lot of the Cheesecake Factory, which Maya had already ordered for me from Texas into Arizona, she ordered my meal.
Mm-hmm.
I went into violent convulsions and shakes. Literally thought I was dying,
Mm-hmm.
drenched, throwing up. I'm in my car and I call my daughter, other daughter, and her and her fiance drive all the way there to get me. By the time she comes and gets me, she's crying when she sees me because I look that bad.
Mm.
By the time I get home, I'm on the floor of the car.
Mm.
Anyway, I went through that process and come to find out there are so many things I couldn't eat anymore, like this. And every time I tried and or forgot, I got violently sick. Not just sick, violently. And as I'm moving through that, I walk into my house one day. Everyone knows, if you don't know, I walk with a cane because I have some paralysis in both legs
From an
from
accident
an accident
30
early.
years ago, right? Long time
Yes.
ago. Mm-hmm.
And I'm standing in the kitchen. My goddaughter's in the kitchen. My granddaughter's down the hallway, and my daughter's in her room. And it feels like someone just simply snatched my leg up from underneath me, and I hit the ceramic tile and I screamed my leg. I heard it break right as I went down.
Mm.
And so I screamed, call 911 now. I knew it was not good. And as I laid on the floor, I'm screaming. They're trying to console me, saying it's probably not that bad because they didn't hear what I heard. And but
Mm.
when I hit the floor, I heard the second break.
Mm.
And I'm in excruciating pain. And I'm like, don't touch me, don't move, get the EMS. So the EMS comes in and he examines me. He feels, he said, it's broken. He felt it. And then he goes, because I'm laying on a hard ceramic floor and it happened so quickly, I didn't have a chance to respond. And he asked, do you have a concussion? Did your head hit the floor? I said, no. He said, I know it's painful, but can you move your hip? Did you break your hip? Because at my age, with that type of impact, with no preparation, I landed on it. And I said, no. And I need you to hear that because that's going to become critical. They take me into they shoot me up with the morphine, whatever it is, they shoot you up with.
Mm-hmm.
And they painfully put me on the stretcher, talking to me very nicely, very empathetic. And I drive the 20 minutes to the emergency room, get to the emergency room, and I got my favorite pants on, y'all. And I did had adhere to my grandmother and my mother's words is always wear good underwear. Why we don't know, but
That's the reason.
I had my good drawers on, and they said, "Would you like for us to try to take them off?" I said, "No, cut them off, cut everything off, cut it all off. Don't touch me." And they
Mm-hmm.
had to reset the leg. And Tamaya, my granddaughter, was on one side, and my goddaughter's on the other side, and I'm screaming into them as they do my leg. I mean, I'm screaming. I think I called Jesus, Moses, God, the universe. I think I called my mama. And my mama died my senior year in high school. I'm sure she heard me. That's
Wow.
how hard I was screaming. And then,
Mm.
in the midst of all of this, I'm going in to get an x ray. They told me that I'm going to have emergency surgery. And the first time they can schedule it with the doctor is at 9 a.m. So I'm in the emergency ward where they only have the screens. Tamaya and Michelle are trying to get comfortable in there. And guess what?
Mm.
A black nurse comes in, emergency care nurse. She goes, "Are y'all are gonna stay with her, aren't you?" And they go, "Yes." They said, "You need to." And she says, "I tell you what, they're telling you they don't have a room. I'm gonna go get you a room."
Mm.
She went up. She said she went upstairs, found a room, and she said, "In order to make sure they put you in the room that I selected, I'm taking you there."
Wow.
Whoa. Okay, those things are happening good, but I'm having a moment when I get in the room. Kelly, I'm having a moment.
Mm.
I say, because of the violent feel from the hernia in my chest, that past pain, this pain was unbearable. I said, I did the grandma thing.
Mm.
Because I am a grandma. I said, Lord, I can't go no more. I can't do this anymore.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
To Maya, who is a senior in college now, who totally admires Kelly. So Kelly, you need to have a conversation about this with her. In all her wisdom, I'm in the bed having this moment of I need to die. And she
Mm.
said, "Well, Grammy, had you thought about this? How you gonna die?" I said, "I'll be damned. I probably have to kill myself because this isn't life threatening, huh?" She said, "Yep." I was thinking about that too. Like, don't make sense to me. You gonna kill yourself? And if you are, how? And, and in that moment, of the switch happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it could have been a lot worse. Now I go back to the
Mm-hmm.
fall on the floor and the questions. Why didn't I break my hip?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I have a concussion? And one of the reasons I came up with in that moment is that all the little falls I had taken from there, taken throughout my life with the paralysis,
Mm-hmm.
all the little trips, and there was no time for me to think about how to fall.
Mm-hmm.
All those things that had taught me instinctively what to do. You see, sometimes the things that we go through, we don't understand what it's preparing us for.
Mm-hmm.
that will save us because we're so upset about what we've gone through that we don't look at the value of what God is preparing us for. And I
Mm,
say God and I say the universe, so please understand I use them interchangeably.
mm,
And I start to realize because my main foundation is I win.
mm-hmm. So I'm a
And
winner.
to say that you win
Mm,
means that you know that there is a universe, there is a God that's always stepped in the gap for you. You understand what I'm saying?
yes, yes.
So all those times I failed, I didn't have time to respond consciously to the fall. I
Mm,
reacted to it instinctively.
mm-hmm.
You see, if you've never been in danger, you don't know how to respond to danger. If
Mm,
you never had your feelings hurt, you don't know how to respond when
mm,
somebody hurts your feelings.
mm,
And how we move through a moment in the past becomes part of our instinct.
mm-hmm.
If we can grow through our challenges, then we've been conscientious of them. And by growing through our challenges and understanding what they meant in that moment or what they didn't mean, because a
Mm,
lot of the stuff that we get our feelings hurt about doesn't matter. And so
mm,
I take that winner mentality because the winner mentality is really a mentality of gratitude.
mm,
And gratitude creates humility. Humility isn't a thing, it's a way of being. It's an appreciation of knowing I didn't get this far by myself because I could have been at home by myself.
that's right.
I didn't have a phone next to me.
Mm,
Well, I did, but it kind of flew across the floor. The nurse that was there. And so as
mm,
they began to treat me, Kelli, I had this moment after that moment of I'm going to die and figured out it wasn't going to work out. I went into immediate just appreciation. The nurse, what's the odds of meeting that
yeah.
one Black nurse in the emergency room who moved me into a very nice room? And I
Mm-hmm.
shifted into a moment of gratitude.
Yes.
And I was just so appreciative of everybody that let me tell you what gratitude will do for you.
Mm,
They wanted, I called about four people from the emergency room, and Kelli was one of them. After I got to that point, because I was waiting that evening to go into surgery. And huh, it's so emotional because I really want you guys to understand this is
mm,
that I began to just be appreciative of every nurse that walked into that room.
mm-hmm.
And by the time I left that hospital, there were some physical therapists that were trying to send me into a rehab home money. Those nurses got involved with the doctor and they said, no, she goes home. And even when I left the hospital, and I'm fast forwarding through, I hugged every nurse before I left. They all came to see me, and I was in there for 3 days, and they loved me. In fact, they began to check on me when I went home. Nurses don't do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
three of them called while I was home. When
Mm,
you have, and I said, I just so appreciate y'all. They said, no, every one of us at that station has talked about you. You are the most appreciative patient we've ever had. We're not used to this.
mm,
We get the blunt of what people's emotions are.
mm-hmm.
So if we can walk into a moment in gratitude, we elevate the moment. We elevate our
Yeah.
being. Like everybody's going to walk into Thanksgiving. And y'all know this, so don't be pretending like you don't, because you do. You know it. You're going to wake up. Y'all going to sit there. You're going to do some complaining while you're getting everything ready. Because somebody going to do something or say something or not have something, and it's going to
Right.
not feel good. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to sit at that doggone table and talk about what you're thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what you're going to do by the end of the day? Forget what you're thankful for and go back to the same rhythm of life you had before.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's gonna say something, and then it's gonna be triggered off of what they've done in the past, and you don't even know if what is done in the moment is that serious, or
Mm-hmm.
is it just an accumulation of the moment with the person? We don't know.
Right.
But you know how you get beyond that? Is to understand that Thanksgiving is not for thankfulness when
Mm.
you're already living thankfully
Every day.
every
Mm-hmm.
day,
Mm-hmm.
every day, every
Mm.
day. And that's the winner in me. The winner in me doesn't say, I can beat you. The winner in me says,
Mm.
I got this.
Yes.
The greatness in me says, we got this. Because I'm calling on my angels. I'm calling on my angels, whether on earth.
Mm.
When I went down, I said I called about 4 or 5 people. Kelli was one of them. I only called people who I know truly have an angelic being within my space. Because at that point, I needed that innate love that they carry as part of my healing.
Mm.
And as we walk through this journey, I want to remind us during this holiday season to not get caught up in the traditions of the season, but the love and the moment of
Mm-hmm.
family in the season. I coach and I coach from my heart and I mentor and I mentor from my heart. And
Mm.
some people have nothing and I'll still mentor. I had a young lady just call me and she said, I have to do a huge presentation to to the Caribbean islands. And what she sent me was the title was Find the Flaw, Fix the Flaw, Reinforce it.
Mm.
I said, oh my God, how do I shift this for her?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been programmed to not only find the flaws, we're not even looking for them consciously, but we are sensitive to negativity. Therefore, we anticipate it to a certain degree, and we don't realize we're in that state of being
Mm-hmm.
because there come a time when you can't respond that you will, by instinct, react. And
Mm.
whatever you've poured in your heart, if you have negative, if you're holding on to what is done, if you're holding on to the hurt, that's where it's going to breed from. And so I'm very conscientious of my winning mindset. And in order for it to be powerful, it has to be loving. It has to be full of gratitude. When I
Mm.
say I don't mind losing, I can handle losing, which means if I've given it my best, if I've opened myself up, if I've not gotten in my own way, if I've not made it about me, I'm winning.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other, I'm winning.
Yes.
And if I can walk away in peace, I've won. And peace, the only way you can get to peace is to have a heart of gratitude, is to have a heart of love. That's your peace.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about it as a concept. People talk about thankfulness as a concept, but monitor yourself. That's all I'm going to ask you for this entire week. Monitor.
Mm.
Monitor how many times you've thought something positive and how many times you say you witnessed something you didn't like.
Mm-hmm. The positive and the affirmations, I think, are so incredibly important, particularly when we have such difficult times. Your time, this is all happened in this last year. This esophagus problem.
Six
And
months.
this, wow.
And when I tell you, imagine if you're already paralyzed down there and then you break the very leg, like that's like limping with a limp.
Mm.
But here's what one of my doctors said. He goes, well, at least it's on your paralyzed leg, so you
Oh
won't
my
feel as much pain. I said, you got to point thing.
I got a point, but
I
it's
said,
still
I said, wait a
painful.
minute. And at least it's on my left leg so I can still drive with my right leg.
Yeah, that's looking at the positive. That's
Th-
major.
that's no, that's also finding the power. We use that word positive, but
Yeah.
it empowers you to own the moment and not allow the moment to own you.
Yes. Say that
How I
again. That's
react and
deep.
respond to others are from my place of being. Now, I don't
Yeah.
want to hurt anybody's feelings,
Mm-hmm.
none. So please, no one take this the wrong way because it's coming from the deepest place of love that I can find.
Mm-hmm.
We are either victorious or a victim. We ain't both.
Oh, I love that.
We're not both. And when we deal with the space of being victim, what they did to me in the past, what they've said to me in the past, what I don't like, that's a victim's perspective. And then you throw in some positive in there thinking, I call that
Mhm.
a positive negative.
Yeah.
It's still a negative. It's how you're phrasing it. But if I have a victorious thing,
Mm-hmm.
if I get down into the depth of my soul, I'm gonna say, and this too shall pass. I'm gonna find something because you're looking for something because you're not a victim. And the universe starts shifting things around you in
That's
order to
right.
bring it to fruition.
That's
That
right.
happens with your children, but it doesn't happen to your children. It happens to you, which impacts your children.
That's right. That's right.
I often used to tell Kelly, they're
Mm.
not listening to me. They're not listening to me. That's what Kelly would say.
Yes, I would.
No, they're not responding to you.
Mm-hmm.
They're feeling you. And because they love you, in spite of what they're showing, your words matter. Your
Mm-hmm.
input matters. But if I sit at that Thanksgiving dinner and say what I'm thankful for, and then by the end of the evening I'm complaining about something I don't like, those words are not of genuine value in the depth of your soul. They're in your head,
Right.
but they
Mm.
got to be in your heart. When you speak to your children, still do your corrections, but speak from a place of love. Sometimes it's not what we say, it's how we say, and not how we say it, but when do we say it?
That's right.
Because we're leaders and we're adults. And so we think, I have a right to say this now. I'm
That's right.
your mother, I'm your father. No, that's not the important part. The important part is, how can I best get them to digest the level of love behind this information that I'm imparting? And
Yes.
when you do that, they may not respond, but I
Mm.
guarantee you they feel what you say.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if it's from a hurtful place from you, they will feel the energy of the hurtfulness no matter how you package it. That's that victim. A
Yeah.
victim will hurt somebody unknowingly.
Mm.
But when you speak from a place of love, when you begin to love yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you begin to be a more allowable.
Mm.
Like, I had to stop responding to my daughter in certain, and I had to get her to communicate when she was overloaded. And I know if I input anything, she's going to push back when she is not in a good emotional state. So it's
So
not
can you
just
share an
when you,
example of that, Coach Bev? Share an example of that. Because I know at one time we were talking, maybe you've been here, several times, and one of
mm-hmm,
the times we were talking about, I think it was like marijuana use. And so you
mm-hmm,
choosing how to have conversations. And so can you share an example of that? Like how
yes,
do you affirm when you're upset? How do you, pause and compose yourself? Can you share?
when I get ready to say something, and I know she said something very harsh. Um, my daughter can cook, but she made me a breakfast sandwich. It was the worst thing I ever seen, and for some reason, it tastes like it looked. It really did. Now, all her food is usually good. I would suggest she not make breakfast, but I'm gonna wait and hold that to myself. So she cooks for me because I can't carry things still.
Mhm.
And either her or Michelle. So I don't want to mess up her cooking for because she can really cook, but not breakfast. Not the breakfast sandwich. I have never seen an egg that big, like with so much stuff in it. So forgot. She had told me the night before she was feeling overwhelmed and she had to go groom. And that atmosphere was only gonna agitate it.
Mhm.
So she calls me from work and she's telling me, and she goes, Mom, because they always worried about me eating, because I can't eat much. And she goes, Mom, did you eat your breakfast sandwich?
Mhm.
I said, I ate some. Mom, you're wasting food. I made that. And her feelings were really hurt.
Mhm.
And my granddaughter said, Grammy, why didn't you just lie? Well, it didn't dawn on me at the time. That's not something I
And you
have
don't
to
just you
really.
don't lie. That's why.
Michelle came up and said, the problem is you're too honest. So she snapped at me. And I had to say, it probably hurt her feelings
Mhm.
because her feelings were already hurt.
Mhm. Mhm.
And by the time she got home, I just stopped, got quiet, and said, I should have answered that in a different way. I was like, Monty, it was very good, but I could have did anything.
Mhm.
She wasn't ready for the hard truth in that moment, and I didn't soften it.
Yeah.
But by the time she got home, because we've been having conversations about that,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, her new thing is, Mom, I realize because she's really smart. Whatever comes to her head comes out her mouth. So
Mhm.
she's saying, Mom, I'm sorry. I was just overwhelmed. And I said, yeah, you ain't used no seconds in between. You just bam. And I kind of made a joke out of it. I said, I thought we was talking about, I said, breath before words. She said, I know. Sometimes I just be look. It just come out. And that's one of the, and so we made it into that. But
Mhm.
it reinforced that she's supposed to stop and think before she speaks because
Yeah.
that's one of her goals. Because she usually speaks from a pace of when she's angry, she speaks in anger. Just take
Mhm.
a moment. And
Yeah.
then I have to be conscientious of how and when.
How and when.
And I wasn't.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about how bad that sandwich was.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
It's
didn't want to lie and say it was terrible. You didn't want to, I mean, if
I
I
ain't
tell
want
the
to. I
truth,
was caught between
because
a rock and a hard place.
yeah.
I didn't want to say I don't want that sandwich no more.
That's funny.
But
Go ahead.
but that's the key. And
The how and the when. I'll remember. Oh, no, you go ahead.
I also want to say one. I don't know what our time frame is, but I know it's about to end. Y'all are amazing. You just don't know it.
Mm,
Sometimes we don't see that in us because of what we're going through,
mhm. Yep,
and
yep.
and a lot of times we're going through it at home because we're prepared for what we go through professionally, but sometimes at home it gets overwhelming,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't think we're being effective or as effective
Right.
because we get a lot of pushback.
Yes.
But the one thing I want to tell you is that my granddaughter came home from college and she was sitting next to me in the car and we were driving and talking and somehow Kelly's name comes up.
Mm.
What came up because I asked her, she pledged last year and already she was pledging her class into TCU this year. And I asked, we started talking about it and she says, I'm putting together a video for Miss Kelly. I said, really? And she goes, yeah. She says, because I want to thank her.
Mm.
Unbeknownst to me and to Kelly, she observed Kelly. So when she went to all the different places of all the different sororities, she said, I already knew I wanted to be a Delta. because Miss Kelli is a Delta and she's kind, but she about that business.
Mhm.
And so,
Wow. You know, make
unbeknownst to Kelli and me, she's been observing Kelli.
mm,
And she counts Kelli as one of her mentors.
mm,
Kelli never knew that. And to show you the cycle of God, Kelli and I probably, because we've been busy, well,
mm,
Kelli been busy. I've been busy trying to figure out how to walk right again.
mhm,
And so it's been weeks since we'd spoken. And this happened yesterday. And when I got home, I got a call from Kelli out of nowhere.
mhm,
That's the universe bringing everything back
mhm,
into once you move in a direction.
mhm,
So when you're out here on your journeys, just know how powerful your energy is because you wouldn't be on this program if you weren't a winner, if you weren't loving, if you
mhm,
weren't thankful.
mhm,
But just be careful where your shift is
mhm,
from victory to victim.
mhm.
Just don't allow it to hurt you to a point where you become a victim and can't give the love, the energy, the productivity that you so desire because negativity drains your energy. It
Right.
takes away from that smile.
Mhm. Mm,
And they observe you more than and the reason I didn't know she felt that way about Kelli because her and Kelli didn't have deep conversations. She
mm,
did it off of observation and from what I've told her, which I didn't think she was listening to
mm,
about how Kelli and the people around her all support each other. And she said, that's what I want.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's incredible. And so, it makes me feel good, like tears of joy. It's interesting because I do believe the universe, like the way we met. We met randomly in an open house in Texas in 2007, and we've been such good friends, for so long, and we don't talk that often. So that's so deep that that happened yesterday. And it was from a group text, and saying, "Are we ready for the call tomorrow?" All of that. And I said, "I need to call Coach Bev." And
That
but I've been meaning
it
to call
all
you for weeks.
culminated into that one moment.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it all happened on the same day. That's not
Yeah.
a coincidence.
No.
That's where your energy is. That's
Right.
where your energy is. And where your energy,
Mm.
where your attention goes, your energy flows. And what your energy flows in is what you produce.
Yeah. It's so deep. And then also miraculously and oddly all happened on a day I'm at a swim meet for Chris, a big one. His first, he's back on a different team, but swimming in North Carolina, and had a really like his worst meet of his life, probably. And I could see.
And you know what I wanted to say when you said that?
Mhm.
But he's in the pool.
He's in the
Because there
pool.
was a while you didn't even
Yeah,
know if he would ever get back in
yeah,
the pool again.
he's
And
in the
so I
pool.
took from that as a win because
Me
he
too.
now he's at a crossroads.
That's
Now he
right.
gets to decide whether
Yeah.
that loss breaks him or makes him, and it's his decision.
And I saw the decision yesterday, ironically, because I went to a museum here in Charlotte with a girlfriend who's a docent. I'd never even heard of what a docent. A docent is a person that gives you a tour of the museum. They're volunteers and they urge you to. They ask questions. It was an awesome experience. So I didn't think he was going to be at finals because of what had happened in the morning. And so we had dinner, my girlfriend and and I learned all this about this amazing art. He texts me, "Mom, I'm in a relay." I'm like, "Huh?" So, oh, okay, I'll be back. And so
And we
first,
worry about them failing.
yeah, but the fact that he
But
even
what
let
we
me
want to
know,
do is to make them strong enough to fail forward. We
he
can't
failed.
stop failure.
And then last night he got his best time ever in his relay leg. Because I think he was like, "What the heck? What was that?"
That's
Uh-huh.
take that win.
Yes. Yes.
That's a win because the struggles they go through are
Yes.
just like the struggles we went through. They don't look the same now.
Right.
And we always assume were worse. We always say, well, when we no, their
Yeah.
struggle is just as impactful in their
Yeah.
journey now as yours was then. But the strength you showed is the same strength they possess. It's whether or
Yeah.
not they're allowed to use it. And I use
Their
this
choice.
word strength because very, very lightly, simply
Mm.
because there's a mythology that all Black women are strong. And so we try to live up to this
Yes.
by never being hurt, by people never recognizing when we're hurt or when we're tired. No,
Mm.
we have persistence, we
Yes.
have passion, but
Resilient.
we have resilience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's not that we don't get knocked down. It's not that we don't get our feelings hurt. It's just that we're so driven towards what we want to be in our heart that we move through it. And
Yeah.
then when you have a spiritual background, it doesn't prevent you from going through it. It gets you through it easier. And it
Yes.
gets you through it more powerful on the other side. Now, if you want to call that strength, you call that strength. But don't mistake strength for a tool belt. Let me fix it.
Mm-hmm.
As I said in the thing, because the easiest thing that people and I said that flaw, fix it, and reinforce it, because we look for flaws. We're
Mm-hmm.
programmed to look for flaws. And you got to remember your children are in a social media and peer pressure groups
Mm-hmm.
that look for flaws.
Yes.
Don't give them what they're looking for. They're looking for pain. They're looking for you to hurt their feelings because they've seen so much negativity. So you may sound negative and not be negative,
Yes.
but that's what they're listening from because
Mm-hmm.
that's all they're hearing is the negativity. Stand your ground.
Mm-hmm. And when you say stand
Stand in your
your ground,
space.
yeah, can you
Stand
share
in your space of love
of love?
because it will push you out of it because there's no peace without love.
Yes,
And you can't appreciate peace and love if you haven't been through the opposite.
that's right.
So we become more appreciative of the moments.
Yes. I love that. That is so
So
deep.
that's what you walk into that room with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in there looking, don't go into Thanksgiving or anything else
Mm-hmm.
knowing the people around you. If you know the people around you when they do it, you can politely call them out about it in private because kids nowadays do not like open they can't handle the open confrontations.
Mm-hmm.
Be very precise and to the point when you speak to them very lovingly and then gear what you're trying to say and read them as you're speaking.
Yes.
That's the greatness of you. When you're in that place of love, you can feel where the other person's coming from.
Right. And appreciate.
Doesn't make it accept it. Doesn't
That's
make
right.
what their behavior is acceptable, but you'll know how to deal with it from a more productive position.
Right.
And the key is making sure you get your messages across without losing your peace, without losing your space.
Making sure you get your messages across without losing your peace and keeping that love, sharing it with love. And what you said so beautifully around your hospital experience with those nurses, the appreciation and gratitude that you shared. You had angels all around you that got you that bed, that got you well, that checked on you, that said, no, she's going home. You have a built-in nurse at your house with Michelle. You have all so many angels around you because you lead your life with appreciation and gratitude. And the fact that you even said with a smile, my paralyzed leg was the one that broke. And what a blessing that is because I can still drive. Like that's such a wonderful way to shift our thinking and look at the gratitude. I'm grateful for that text message last night. Because Chris, as you know, you work with Chris, one word answers, very few words. And the fact that he even texted saying, I'm in a relay tonight, 7:15. I said, oh. So I said, okay, great. I'll be there. But I
And you know
appreciate
what that
that.
meant? But do you
Mm.
know what that meant?
What?
Mom, that's not who I am. You come tonight and I'm going to show you who I am. That's what I would have taken
Mhm.
from that immediately. I was like, let's go.
I
Now
didn't
you
think
start to
that.
shift your energy like that, along
Mm,
with his, things explode.
that's right. And this morning I sent him, good morning. I hope you're feeling better. I love you. I'll be there.
Nope. Never say, I hope you're feeling better. Say, you
Well, he
got
was
this.
physically sick.
I
He was,
know, but
he,
we don't
don't
recognize
say,
it in
okay, so say
competition.
it again. Don't wait. Okay, so honestly, this is a question. He has an upper respiratory infection. His doctor called him, who's a soror, called in a antibiotic. So I was in a space of, I hope you're feeling better. He's coughing and hacking in a mess. From a
But where was
physical,
he?
he's in his hotel.
No, he was in a space of competition,
Oh, headspace, you're saying.
heart and head. He was in a space of being competitive.
So then what should the
He
language
wasn't
be?
sick. If he's going to compete, he ain't sick in that moment,
Oh,
regardless of what's going on. That's a
oh,
competitor.
just a good morning. I love you.
Say, you got this.
Okay, so it might be too late for that.
No,
Okay.
but it's the lessons we move through on how to better communicate.
Yeah,
It's not a mistake. It's an opportunity we just missed. It's not you didn't make a
you're
mistake. We
right.
just
You're right.
missed
You're
an
right. You're right.
opportunity to pour into that energy of I can overcome anything, because there's going to be a time when he's really sick and has to go to work or lose
That's
his
right.
job.
That's right.
And
In
your
real
son's
life.
talking about medical school. There are a
Yeah,
lot of things he's going to work through.
that's right. That's great. I just wrote, you got this. I love you. Okay, well, I don't know if he'll see it, but that's all good. Thank you for that. Okay, so I want to make sure if anybody has any questions. I love you so much, Bev, and you've given us so much incredible wisdom this morning. But if anybody has a question or a thought as we move into this Thanksgiving week, please feel free to share with Coach Bev while we have her. And Dr. D with her PhD, has her hand up. So Dr. D, yes.
I just have a comment. Coach Beth needs to update her bio because she's 15 Olympians and one Paralympian. Just wanted
Oh,
to add that.
Absolutely. And I love him. I
yeah.
simply
Well, you
love my
know, he
son.
loves you too. Well, he wouldn't talk to you if he didn't.
You know, the greatest compliment Lawrence gives me is his trust.
Absolutely.
So I overlook how he's presenting. And I said, he's trusting me in his moment of vulnerability. And I'll always answer the phone for him.
I know. I need to be in your space. He's trusting me. Say that again. I'm not even in that space. He's um say that again, Bev, because that's really important.
I think I said, I'm sorry, whenever I speak, I'm so in the moment.
Oh,
And,
Vicky just put it in the chat. The greatest compliment someone gives us is their trust.
Mm,
So you're able to
their true
overlook.
trust is in their moment of vulnerability.
mm,
Yeah,
I've
he
had young
listens to
men
you.
who are
yes.
in the regular Olympics call me from the Olympics and will break down
Mm,
because they haven't had a safe space to break down.
hmm
And then I'll say, now what we gonna do? What
mm,
we gonna do? I even told Chris, I said, Chris, stop it. He goes, stop what? I said, you're so busy trying to be humble that you're not being great.
hmm
I said, you're downgrading
Yes, he does.
yourself. I said, we're not doing that anymore. I said, every morning I want you to wake up and you go, and I want you to touch your chest and go, I'm the man. I'm it. I
Hmm
can't remember exact words because I always use words that I know connect with them because I'm listening. But you got to always know that space.
That part. It's having that self-confidence. Starts with
But
confidence, right?
I want to tell everyone a secret. And I don't have any, I have magic, but we all have magic. I don't have any more magic within me than anybody else does. But I stopped to listen to Lawrence and I hear what his passion is. I stop and listen to Chris and I hear what his passion is. So whenever they get off track, I can easily shift it by integrating whatever their passion is to get them reset. If
Hmm
you're not, if you're only dealing with the issue, you're not dealing with how they communicate and what's important to them. And sometimes something will come up and it's like a 911 to them, or in Chris's case, it's a moment. And in Lawrence's case, it's but they're just moments. And I'll step out of that moment, allow it, engage with it in a positive way, and then I'll try to shift them back to their passions.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Because even as adults, what we may think is important in the moment has nothing to do with our passion. So I'm going to challenge all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to your why.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a why when challenges will distract you.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going out and I want to get this contract and it's important to me because of what I want to do with my life, and it's not just about that, it's about your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Passion, persistence, resilience. That's who we are. But what are you passionate about? Know what you're passionate about and figure out what your kids and your family are passionate about.
Mm.
You can always connect at a passion level.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I know I talked
good.
a lot. So
You
I'm
are
going to stop.
amazing. I wish you could stay an hour more. I want you to come back maybe before the end of the year. But you are so incredible always, and so just awesome, Coach Bev. I love you so much. Thank you for this morning, for getting up. Thank you for your wisdom and your graciousness. And I'm grateful for you and going through all that you've gone through in the last 6 months and sitting here with a beautiful smile despite it all. So thank you for everything you do for all of us.
Love you guys.
Love
And
you.
remember who you are: passionate, powerful, loving, resilient individuals.
Yes.
Walk your walk and stand in your journey.
Yes, awesome. I would like, Dr. Vicky, you want to share a few last moments, a little prayer for us for the day as we move into this week?
Now I'm over here trying to copy the chat because this was powerful.
Me too.
Yeah, I hope you take some screenshots. This is so amazing. I'm so glad for the mute button, Coach Bev, because I have been screaming all morning as a former athlete, as a former championship athlete. I so appreciate your wisdom. You are brilliant. And I just want to reflect back to you your brilliance. I too had a very traumatic leg injury, had to be reset in the hallway of an emergency room. Like, so much was resonating with me this morning. And, my grandmother used to say, God gives his toughest battles to his greatest warriors. And you are a great warrior. And I just want to say thank you for your resilience. Thank you for not giving up, because sometimes the coach needs to be coached, right? And inspired and encouraged. So I just wanted to take a moment to encourage you, to say thank you for running your
Dr.
race.
Vicky, I have to say this. You said that God will give us our toughest moments to do what?
To his greatest warriors.
Not to its strongest. And I just want everybody to remember what she said. Your greatness isn't built in your strength, it's built in your heart. And you said that so powerfully. I just needed for them to understand this, that little, your toughest battles is not your, doesn't tap into your strongness. It taps into your greatness.
Yeah. And that's the prayer this morning, Kelly. I have nothing else to say. I have
Boom.
nothing else to add. This is just so, this is
Yes.
rich, and it's a wonderful way to enter into this week of
Yes.
gratitude. Thank you, Coach Bev. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Dee. Thank you to every person who shows up in this community consistently every Sunday morning. We may be small, but we are powerful. And
Yes.
this is rich every week. I testified to Kelly this morning that it was a good week for me and my young adult.
Yes.
And so I'm going to take the victory. I'm going to celebrate it and be grateful for it, because it's been an intense last several months. But I'm grateful to enter into this week of gratitude with gratitude. Thank you, Coach Bev. We love you, and we will be reaching back out to you.
Absolutely.
Blessings. Love you guys.
Love
All
you,
right.
everybody. Have a good week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.